Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Soflo Josh and we're here at BMW South Miami to film this 2025 BMW M4 Competition xDrive for y'all. If you guys are interested in purchasing this M4 or any other BMW, make sure to go ahead and contact them. They'll be able to assist you. So underneath the hood is the company's S58 3-liter twin turbo straight six, producing 523 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque, straight through an 8-speed ZF automatic transmission to all four wheels. Since this is the xDrive, you can still get an M4 that's rear-wheel drive, and you could still get a manual, which is the base M4 version. As you see over here underneath the engine bay, there's the engine as well as some bracing around for better overall rigidity for this vehicle. Now let's go ahead and talk about this vehicle right here. So it's finished in a very nice black color. We also see that we have some red graphics. Now you're probably wondering, that's something that the owner previously went ahead and put onto it. No, this is actually a graphic that you can spec from the factory. So we have this nice red accent that goes across the hood section and then the M logo right down the middle. We'll also talk about that, as in the rear trunk has the same graphic, and over here in the kidney grille it accents it as well. We have this red graphic that kind of makes it very prominent and very aggressive. So over here we have the kidney grille that has been very controversial since the launch of the M3 and the M4, and quite honestly, as time has gone on, I think it looks very, very nice. Bold that they went for this, and honestly, a lot of people have started to like it as well. We have the M4 Competition badging over there to the side. We also have your full-on cruise control safety sense down in the middle, or to the right, I should say, for this model, which looks very nice. And we have some more venting off to the right and the left. So we have some cooling for the intercoolers, as well as some brake ducts to cool down those brakes. And we have a little bit of an extension to this overall lower section of the front bumper. Now getting over here to the side, as you see, we do have some air inlets that go around the wheel for better aerodynamics. And then we also get these new headlights for the 2025 model year, where I like to call them snake fangs. Some people like to call it the snake eyes. Honestly, it can go either or, because I still think it looks really good. It looks very aggressive. I really, really like this design when they went for this change compared to the old pre-LCI version, and it just looks really good. Full LED housing right here. And we also have it finished in some black design in the inlays of the headlights. We have LED high beam assist and low beam assist, as well as LED cornering lamps. So it's gonna help you when you go around those corners. But as you see, a very, very nice color. Getting over here to the side, at the front, we do have the 19-inch gloss black wheels for this model. And then at the rear, we will find a 20-inch, because this is a staggered setup for M cars. They typically always have staggered setups, no matter which version of M product that you get. Now, when I mean M product, I mean full-fledged M cars. They're wrapped around with this Michelin Pilot Sport 4Ss, and honestly, they look really good. As you see back there, we do have the blue brake calipers. You can get them optionally in red, and you can even get a gold version as well. And the rotors are also drilled, so it's better for the overall brakes. M4 badging over here with this side faux venting area. It's not real. And then we got the M mirror caps finished in gloss black with your turn signals on the side, gloss black side sill area. And then wrapping over here to the back, as you see, we do have that same exact red graphic over here at the boot section. We got the spoiler at the rear. This is the non-carbon fiber one. Speaking about carbon fiber, this does come with the carbon fiber roof. So just keep that in mind when it comes to purchasing an M4. And another thing that's awesome about the M4s is that we have the BMW laser lights that was first introduced in the M4 CSL, which was the pre-facelift version. Very limited numbers, and they carried it over to the M4 products as well as other 4 Series models. I think it looks absolutely amazing and aggressive. Yeah, rear turn signals finished in LED as well. Rear reverse lights right here, and it looks really nice. I really like seeing this at night. I've been behind some M4s with this exact same lighting setup, and it just looks fantastic. Over here, the lower section of the bumper, as you see, we have some gloss black finish for the rear bumper section. Nice rear diffuser with a full-on quad exhaust system at the rear as well. M4 badging right there, BMW logo, and then your xDrive is off to the left. Now, let's go ahead and actually hear how this vehicle sounds. Honestly, that straight six just sounds so unique. I love the way that BMWs have tuned their exhaust system. Mind you, you can even get an M Performance exhaust system with a different rear end design for the exhaust layout, where they'll go into like a shotgun style finish, which I think is absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and open up the trunk. And as you see, this is the power trunk right here. And opening up, we have a pretty decent amount of space, honestly, for a coupe-like vehicle. Well, it is a coupe, what am I saying? Full-on coupe vehicle. We even have the release for the rear seats over here, and you do have a ski pass-through if you do end up taking this car to the Alps. Over here we have some storage space on that side, and then over here we have, I think, some more storage space. Yeah, we do have some storage space, so you could do that. And then down below here, the only way to get under here is actually by prying it with maybe like a scissor or a plastic tool. That's exactly where your battery will sit for this model or for any M products. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the interior. All right, so opening up the door, we do have proximity sensors for both the driver and the passenger side. Opening the door, it's a very hefty, large door because it is a coupe vehicle, so you have to elongate the actual door. We have soft padding up at the top. We have this nice silver accent around the door handle, as well as your lock and unlock setting. We also have some presets for your power seats, window switch gear, and your power folding mirrors right over here, which is very nice. Red accent for this model. So as you see, there's kind of a theme going on with this vehicle. We got a black with red accents, and you'll see that in the seats over here. Very nice soft padding with the overall red stitching as well. I really like the way this vehicle looks. We have the Harman Kardon speaker grill right over there for the tweeter, and over here on this upper section, we even got a large cup area to go ahead and put a large bottle. We have the trunk release, and then some areas to put maybe some snacks. M4 sill plates right here. And then, like I said, this is the power seat. So we're gonna have a manual side extender, but everything else for this vehicle is powered. So we have 4-way lumbar control. We have the bolstering where you can increase it and decrease it. And you have power tilt and telescopic for these seats, which is very nice. We got the M4 badging right there as well. That's actually illuminated. We first saw this, I believe, in the last generation M4, and they continue to do it for a lot of M products as of late. Now, getting over here, as you see, once you tilt it forward, the seats will actually push forward, so then the occupants can get into the rear seats. I'm actually gonna get in for y'all because that's what we do here. Even though I am 5'10", let's get into the back seat. Let's see how I feel back here. So I don't really have a lot of headroom space because of the way this vehicle is shaped. It is a coupe vehicle, so just keep that in mind. Putting larger people back here isn't the overall best, but you know, not too bad. You have some soft padding around here. We also have the speaker grill on either end. It's finished in a nice metal design. And then down here, we, as you see, ski pass through. Very nice interior. Unfortunately, we do not find cup holders for the rear seats. I guess that's one thing this M4 does not come with, but at least we come with the rear air vents, which is also a very nice thing. All right, so let's go ahead and get out of this vehicle. It's a little bit more tricky. Kind of have to get into the grab handle right there. But let's put this back and let it retract fully, and then we'll get into the interior. All right, so let's go ahead and get inside. Let's go ahead and close the door. And let's turn this puppy on. So as you hear, it livens up. Man, that engine is just super powerful, and it sounds so good. I really like the way that this engine sounds. Now, one thing you're gonna notice right away, we have a flat bottom steering wheel for this model, which is all new for the 2025 model years. We also have the carbon fiber around the actual steering wheel. We have an M1, M2 presets, so you can change the different modes for this vehicle. We also have carbon fiber across the dash, a new venting section with ambient lighting. We have your emergency parking lights right there, as well as the max defroster and rear defroster, forward and back track, and we still have a volume control button. Your M shift gear is going to be right here, so in order to put it into reverse, we're going to go to the left and up. CTs that BMW had for the previous generation F80X models had, so this is what it's going to be. Here is your reverse camera. As you see, we do have 360 degrees camera for this model right here, but it has some good trajectory as well. Whenever you do turn the wheel, the front wheels will also show the angles of where you are going. It does have the backup assist as well, but putting into park, straight forward and down. And then right over here, we do have presets for your transmission, so you can increase the actual transmission on how it shifts and everything just right there at the click of a button, which is pretty cool to see. And then putting into drive is just to the right, or S as well. You have your emergency parking brake right there. Your exhaust system button is going to be right here as well. Auto hold, your setup for your presets. So if you want to have your M1, you could put in Sport, Sport Plus, chassis control, steering, brakes, and your M xDrive version as well, which is pretty nice to see. We even have an M mode, so you can have it either in road or in the sport function as well. And then we have some more hotkeys right here. The engine auto start stop. We have your rear sensors, camera system, dedicated camera system for the front camera. So if you are taking your car into a car wash, you can go ahead and do that. And then we have your traction control off button right there as well. You have your scroll wheel right here for your touchscreen, so you can go ahead and maneuver the menus via the scroll wheel right here. We have some presets for the touchscreen as well. And speaking about the touchscreen, we have a 14.9 inch touchscreen display, and then we have a 12.3 inch digital gauge cluster. Now, this digital gauge cluster, if I'm not mistaken, can actually be customized, so we can actually change the contents of what we want to have right here down the center, and it's actually pretty configurable. You can even have the setup that you have for your M1 and M2 mode, which is pretty nice to see. I don't know, I mean, there's not a lot of car companies out there that have this amount of customizations, and even like right here down the middle, as you see, the heads of display has that availability to change a lot of stuff as well, which honestly, I'm really happy to see how much customizations that you have for a digital gauge cluster and a heads of display, which is not likely in a lot of other competitors. But honestly, this interior is great. The seats feel really good around the bolstering. I like the way it feels. We have two large cup holders. We have a 12-volt outlet right there, USB wireless charging pad, and like I said, carbon fiber across the whole section in the middle, USB Type-C, and then some storage space down the middle. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take this puppy out for a drive. All right, so before we head out on the drive, let's take one more last look of the exterior. Really love the overall look of this, with the red accents that we have over here, the graphic, the front grille wrapped around with that same exact design. Love these 19-inch wheels and the 20-inch wheels at the back. Staggered setup with the blue brake calipers. Overall design looks really nice. We even get some red graphics over here at the back, and we even have really nice quad exhaust tips that sound really good. All right, let's get inside and let's take it out to South Dixie. Like I said, one of my favorite things already, straight off the bat, was the inclusion of this flat bottom steering wheel. Super easy now to get in and out of this vehicle. All right, so let's go ahead and put it into drive. It's over to the right. Disengage that emergency parking brake, and let's take it out to 60. So like I mentioned, this model right here features the S68 3-liter twin turbo straight six, producing 523 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque through a 8-speed ZF automatic transmission to all 4 wheels for this model, which is actually really, really nice. You know, this car has been around for quite some time. This is the LCI. They got the new headlights and even got more power compared to that of what the pre-LCI had. So let's go ahead and take it on the road. As you see, very nice power delivery from that straight six. Buttery smooth, exactly what you expect from a straight six engine, and especially a BMW. They're really, really good with optimizing their engines. Now, what we're gonna do is actually put it into M1. We're gonna put it into Sport Plus, and we're actually gonna kick it down to the S as well. Let's see how it feels around these back roads. Really good power delivery. Holy, oh, that feels good. Wow, you could really feel how much the jerkiness from the transmission. That's one thing I'm noticing right off the bat, is that if you do have it in 3, just keep in mind that it's going to be a little bit more jerkier than what you'd expect from, you know, driving in comfort mode or in sport mode for this model. Let's go ahead and see how it feels going over these speed bumps right over here as well. Pretty good, you know. I mean, the speed bumps, not too bad. Since we are in Sport Plus for the chassis, you're gonna feel a lot, and I mean a lot, of the movement from this vehicle compared to, you know, maybe an M440i or even an M340i, because those have a really, really like softer suspension when it comes to that. This is more like track focused, track capable. It's not your typical everyday BMW, and that's one thing that you need to understand when it comes to this vehicle. Honestly, not that bad at all. Really, really good. And even in slow traffic, you know, going over here in the back roads, really nice. Shifting the gears yourself, you can go ahead and do that. You can hear a little bit of like the burble from the exhaust whenever you lift off. That's just something so unique about this S58, you know, and even the B58 in general. Like these two engines are just one of BMW's best to date when it comes to overall like power. How much you can make out of these engines is ridiculous. You can make almost like 1,000 horsepower or even 1,000+ horsepower out of this engine with some of the stock internals, which I think is very, very impressive for a car that's being produced, you know, in a mass. Because this car isn't like limited numbers, you know, they don't make limited amount of numbers of this vehicle. All right, let's give it a little bit of gas. Wow, even like on the 4th gear, throw it down a little bit, you can really feel those turbos spewing up in order for them to kind of push this car forward. And I think it's absolutely amazing how this car feels. You know, honestly, it's not as bad as what some people make it out to when it comes to like the chassis. It doesn't feel as stiff as what I kind of like been seeing and hearing from people. So maybe BMW had done some recalibration to the suspension, but it doesn't feel as bad. And these seats actually do a really good job at hugging you in place, you know, when it comes to driving this vehicle. Yes, man, yes. Wow, that feels so good. The power delivery is intense. Like, you can tell how calibrated BMW created this vehicle. Even the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. Mind you, this is another version of the ones that you find in an M340i, or even a, well, not the 330i, but a M440i. It is calibrated so well and so precise, like the shift points. Let me go ahead and actually put it into drive, and let's go ahead and actually see how this engine feels with the automatic transmission when we take it off over here. But overall, I'm really enjoying it. Honestly, seeing out of the vehicle is not so bad. For a coupe that has more of a swept back front windshield, it is not that bad. And the windows are elongated so you could see out perfectly. And even then, we still have blind spot detection on either end. So you're covered when it comes to turning or taking different lanes, perfectly done, well executed design, unlike some other things like a Chevy Corvette, Camaro, my bad. That was not a really good vehicle at all. This just feels super nice. I actually want to kind of put it into sport mode for the engine. Honestly, the suspension doesn't feel that bad. I'm actually quite surprised. Even going over those bumps there, not bad at all. Not bad at all. All right, Sport Plus mode. Let's give it one more try. Really good around those curves. Wow, this car really hugs these curves quite well. I'm actually very, very surprised and happy with the way that BMW has done this vehicle. Absolutely amazing. Hats off to the BMW M team for creating a product that has been sought after for many, many people. I mean, there's so many M4s that I've seen on Bimmer Post or even on BMW blog. Two of my favorite places to go look for when it comes to BMW products. And let me just tell you, some of the builds I've seen of M4s, M3s are just astonishing. You guys just know how to build your cars, and honestly, hats off to you too as well. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say a huge thank you to BMW South Miami for allowing me to film this vehicle again. Make sure to go ahead and contact them. They'll be able to assist you into getting into a new BMW or even a Mini Cooper. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.